Everyone, this is my wife, Chris. We've been married for 25 years. She's going to act as my audience for my impromptu speech for this week's assignment. She is a manager. She has been for going on 3 years where we work for AT&T. And we've worked for AT&T for off and on about 14 years. So, Chris, take it away.
I do a lot of the hiring for AT&T, so these are some of the questions that we ask our candidates as they come into our building. Tell me about a time when you made a mistake and what you did to correct it.
Probably the first thought that comes to my mind would be when I was in my first year as an order specialist with StarTech and AT&T. And I had hit the floor within 2 weeks and had my first big project for an account called American Freightways. They later became part of FedEx. They were that big. And we had a 400 site project that we had to go ahead and order. They wanted 400 new data circuits installed in about 3 or 4 months. And the terminology, as you know, with that job field is very difficult sometimes. So there's a difference between ordering an upgrade and a new install. For those members of our audience, an upgrade in AT&T terms would be upgrading an existing service, and a new install would be installing a completely new service for their data lines. And American Freightways, when they sent me all 400 orders, they were used to working with a previous order specialist, and so they phrased them all as upgrades. Well, I was inexperienced and I did not know that what they really wanted were new installs. So I placed all 400 orders as upgrades. After I placed all 400 orders as upgrades, I found out that they wanted new installs. So immediately I went ahead and got a conference call together, and I engaged my area manager, and he got on with me. And we went ahead and explained the situation to them. And we were honest right from the get-go. I didn't make any excuses. I figured that was the best way to approach it. And I think they appreciated that. And because of that, and because I caught it in time, we were able to go ahead and cancel all of those previous orders. I engaged a team of my peers to help me. 2 people were canceling the orders. Myself and another person were replacing the new orders. Long story short, we were able to go ahead and get the project replaced as new installs and get it in actually on time. So
Nice. What is your definition of leadership?
my definition of leadership would be motivating a person or a group to achieve a desired result. And as an add-on to that, I would also state that it is also leading by example.
Okay. Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult customer with a conflict and what you did to resolve the problem.
One of the times that I had to deal with a difficult customer with a conflict was, again, the aforementioned customer that I had, American Freightways, and it was sometime after the project that I had just mentioned, and they wanted to get us a data service into an area where we didn't have any facilities. We had to kind of think outside the box, and I placed the order different than I normally would have. I placed a new service as an outside move. The difference between a new service and an outside move is a new service is a completely new install. An outside move would be moving your service from one building to another. It had the virtue of never having been tried before. I handheld the order for approximately 2 weeks, making multiple contacts a day with people that were designing the order, people that were handling it. We ended up on the cutover finally on a Friday, and I was there until about 10 or 11 at night with my boss, and it went through just fine. American Freightways, while they weren't pleased with the entire process, they were pleased with the fact that we did get it in. So.
Okay. Tell me about a time that you had to deliver a difficult message.
I've had to deliver many of them in my life. As you know, we have to tell CEOs all the time that they're not getting their service on time. That would be one of them. To get more specific, probably one of the worst times that I had to do that was when I had to tell as you know, my mom, that her brother had passed away. And I was indisposed at that point in time, and I had to go ahead and tell her that over the phone. So I called her and I asked her to sit down. I told her I had some news for her and that it was going to be difficult. And I just told her the facts and what had happened. I was probably on the phone with her for 2 hours, calming her down and telling her everything was going to be okay. That was probably one of the worst times that I had to deliver difficult news that I can imagine. In the end, it turned out okay.
Very good.
Is that all?
That's it. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time.